I'm Ashley Easter.
And I'm Charlie Grantham, and you're listening to Serendipity,
the podcast where we explore everyday magic all around us. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. We're doing a mini episode today. I've really enjoyed our mini episodes.
I know,
mean, they're
it's
just
fun.
kind of short and sweet, but
short, sweet, like serendipitous, woo-woo, happy, just to like boost. Frankie's here too. Maybe he sounds like he likes our full length ones better. He's kind of growling at us.
Yeah.
But just to kind of like boost your day.
Yes.
I feel like.
Yes. So I'm actually going to share a story that I think is kind of like, I don't even know completely what I think about it. Okay, so let me give you some background. I have always joked with my husband that I think he is either made by aliens or is an alien himself because he's so perfect. Like he is the human that like has like zero trauma in his life, which I've never met another human who doesn't have like some traumatic experience in their life. He's like so chill and laid back. He's also like such a perfectionist, but in the way that like things actually are pretty perfect. Like when we get junk mail, from the mailbox, while he's sorting them or whatever, he will like line them up in like right angles on our kitchen counter. Like it's just everything is perfect. And I'm like, this has to be a machine.
Yeah.
He's like what an alien would think of if they were trying to make a nice human, I think. And I've also joked with him, about just things about his appearance. He's got all these like freckles on his back. And I'm like, these are the constellation with a map to your star, like you're where you lived as an alien. So we just have kind of this running joke that he's an alien. Well, we have this thing where we trade off at night. So when we're watching TV, Will rubs my legs. I like throw my legs over him. And then when we get in bed, we usually watch a couple funny TikToks or Instagram reels, and then I'll rub his head or I'll rub his back. And it's just kind of our little ritual to connect. Anyway, he turned over so I could rub his back, and he had the most bizarre markings on his back.
They're weird.
Yes. And I'm just gonna hold up for now, but we will show a picture.
Yeah, we'll put it on Instagram, and if I can figure out how to put it over the video, I will.
Yes. But they are these grid marks that, and I say grid because they're like very evenly spaced. And it looks like it's almost like squared off a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're like these perfect little red dots side by side. There's 3 rows and down, and 1, 2, 3, 4 rows across.
It's almost, and maybe I'm wrong, but like, how a meat cleaver, where they have dots that stick up because you beat the meat.
Yeah, like a meat pounder.
If you just like press that, it's almost, because it's like it would be perfectly spaced.
Yeah, they're perfectly spaced.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that's a bad.
No, I think that makes sense. It's almost like a waffle,
Yeah.
like all the little compartments. Yeah.
And if you haven't heard, we are together, and my dogs are like, they're uncontrollable. So they are our guests today.
Yes, they are our special guests, Frankie and Daisy. So, anyway, so I looked at his spots. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are these? And, he was like, what? And I was like, you have these red grid marks on your back, and they weren't raised. So it wasn't like bug bites or like, inflamed or anything like that.
It wasn't like a rash or like hives.
No, it was just these red marks, and we don't have anything in the house like that he could have leaned up against. And they lasted for several days. So even if he had like leaned up against something, like it wasn't an allergic reaction and a pattern, and it wasn't like he'd press his back into something.
And it was one small part. He didn't have other symptoms.
Right. And so, good old Dr. Google, I'm always like, what is this weird thing happening? And so I went and I Googled like grid markings on your back. And the first thing that comes up, I kid you not, was alien markings from alien abductions. And there are dozens of pictures that look exactly like this. And if you Google right now, like alien abduction markings, like grid pattern or honeycomb pattern, you'll see these exact same pictures come up. They're everywhere.
They look just like it.
Yeah. And I couldn't find anything on any medical sites that was even close. Any of the rashes and stuff, they're kind of random patches and they're raised. And so I looked at all these websites and I'm like, well, I think an alien really came and was like abducted, like, did some testing on you or something. And then I don't even know if I told you this. Sahara Rose, who she's like an influencer. She's got a spiritual podcast. I went to her retreat recently. She actually has a podcast and she talked about her husband having grid markings. And so I posted in the private group and I posted a picture and I was like, does anybody know what these are? And she was like, oh my gosh, go back and listen to this podcast. That's exactly what it looked like on my husband. But his was combined with a dream of being abducted by an alien. And we saw like these green flashing lights and stuff. And so I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, seriously. She's like, it's the exact same pattern. And she said that for him, he thought that he woke up in the middle of the abduction. That's why he saw this stuff. But that maybe they were not abducting like to take away, but like doing like testing or something like that. Curious. And like that ideally you would stay asleep and wouldn't know. And so maybe Will just like didn't wake up from their anesthesia or whatever. So they didn't know that they're like taking his vitals.
Is he a deep sleeper?
Yeah, he's a pretty deep sleeper.
Maybe they target the deep sleepers.
Maybe. So it could be completely random. It could be not aliens, or it could be aliens.
I mean, it seems to me we have gathered enough evidence. That we can say this is aliens.
And I asked him, I was like, did you have any dreams? And he's like, no, I didn't have any dreams with it. But I don't know, just with all the other signs, he's got so many freckles that I'm like, this is like a constellation with a map to your home star. And he has this perfect belly button too. It looks like it's not
like it was drawn or something. Like,
yeah, it looks like they made him and then they're like, oops, we forgot to add a belly button. Humans will know he's an alien if he doesn't have a belly button. It's just like this perfect
stamp.
circle. Yeah, it looks like it's
somebody give me the belly button stamp.
Like exactly. So again, make your own choices about what this might be, but I don't know. I think it might be an alien.
I think I've made mine. It's an alien. Yeah, for sure. It is really weird though, because it's very, when you were telling me about it, like on voice memo on the phone, before you showed me, I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
And then you showed it and I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't look like anything.
No. And there's like distinct rows. So it's three down. Like if you were working on an Excel spreadsheet and you've got 3 boxes down and then it's like 4. This one's sort of trails off there, but like 4 over.
Yeah.
And like I just have no idea what else it could be.
Yeah.
And apparently the internet doesn't know what else it could be either.
Other than aliens.
For an alien.
So that's it.
There you
well, we want to know if you have had this happen or you know of someone who got these type of markings. We're going to post a picture, like I said, on our Instagram or and try to do it on the video for YouTube. But we want to know if you've had these markings or you know someone or you've been abducted by aliens and returns. Like we want the stories. And so you can email us your story at pod.serendipity@gmail.com. You can DM us at serendipity.pod on Instagram. Send us a voice memo because we want to hear about it.
Yeah.
We'll tell it.
Yes.
As long as
let's build some more evidence.
Yeah. We can let's do a collection. This will just be an alien podcast. Yes. Like this is, Frankie doesn't like that idea. I think he's scared.
I don't think Frankie likes aliens.
Yeah. I don't think Frankie likes too much. He is a little sweetie pie though. But yeah, and you can leave us a review too while you're at it.
Please do that. And if you do, we will give you a free gift. It's really beautiful prints that you can put on your wall or on your desktop of your phone or your computer.
Yeah.
It says Serendipity and they've got these gorgeous butterflies.
Yes.
It's custom artwork and it's free. So leave us a review.
Yes. And email us at pod.serendipity to let us know or DM us.
Yes.
And this was fun.
Yeah, it was.
This was giving me flashbacks to our alien episode, which is like one of my favorite ones.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's like one of the first, because we've been doing this podcast for over a year now.
Yeah.
And that was one of our first episodes.
So if you haven't listened to that episode, like
Go
now
head
is
on
the
back.
time. Now is
Yeah.
the time.
We had some really good first episodes.
Mhm.
Signs from loved ones, ghosts, aliens. Like I would definitely go back. Maybe we should do like a part 2 because
Yeah,
those were good. I feel
they
like,
were.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If
Anyway.
you want a part 2, let us know
Yeah.
that as well. Send us a DM or leave us a comment.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening and watching.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.